Hey everybody, welcome to Bobby Builds It, where today we're going to take an idea in a video I saw by WhosTheVos that I will link down in the description, and we're going to overcomplicate it and overthink it and see if we can make something a little bit crazy. Stick around. Instead of our usual cedar pickets or 2x4s, we got a little bit of walnut, a little bit of maple, and a little bit of cherry. I'm going to start off by finding the best 12 inches or so of all three of these boards and milling them up. So I got this from the lumber mill, and it's going to need a little bit of work. But when I'm milling all this stuff up, I don't want to try to run this through the joiner and get it good. I only need about 12 inches to start. So I'm just going to take 12 inches from down here. Looking at the walnut, it's in better shape. It does have a problem right there, but I'm just going to do 12 inches from down there. And the cherry, again, we've got a spot here. That's going to need a little bit more work and probably just cut out. So I'm going to stake down here where it's wider. What I'm trying to achieve, we're going to orient it like this. This is the bottom, this is the top, and it needs to be 5 7/8 inches tall. The walnut is about 3 7/8. Cherry is about 5 5/8. I'm going to shave a little of this off, leave this piece alone, and then rip this down to get the height on each side that I want. Now we are ripped down to size. Next thing I'm going to do is just put a few dowels to hold these together to give it the finished product a little bit more strength and to help me line stuff up as best I can. We're going to do one set with the Microjig joint mate. We're going to do the other set with this. I don't have any idea what brand it is. There's dozens of this kind. If you look on Amazon, it's the same thing, but 100 different people selling them. See which one seems easier to use. So the first step with the Microjig is to get your bit, and I'm using 1/4 inch dowels. It comes with a 1/4 inch bit, and get your stop collar set to the right depth. And you want a little bit more than half of the dowel so you have room for your glue. And so I just kind of eyeballed it. Okay, from here out with the Microjig, I'm going to try not to have any more cuts cuts in the video so you can see just how things go. So you take the jig, it's got these posts here, and you line them up with the corresponding hole. And turn it so I get my drill bit in. When you turn it, the post allows it to center. I want to start as far back as I can and still have both posts on. And just repeat down the board. All right, we're going to get one of our dowels, put that in there, then get the second board, and I had to put this piece down here to hold it up. Get those level. Then you get this piece, slide it on. Well, no, you don't need this board yet. Get this piece, get it put on. Got these knobs. Then twist it on. And I think the model number on this jig might have changed. I do have a video showing more details about how to use it. Of course, this portion, something went wrong in that video, but I'll still put a card up for it. All right. So this fence here is on. Loosen those a little bit, and then drop the bushing back over the hole and slide the fence up so it touches the board. Tighten it down real good. All right, and you get your other piece, and we have these slots here. You run the slot over the dowel until the fence touches your other board. Keep it pressed on there. Everything together. And drill down through there. Take that out and work your way down. And don't do what I just did right there. What I probably should have done is try to find a way to clamp this or use double-sided tape. I'm probably going to end up being off just a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. All right, get one more dowel over here just to do our test. Put it there. See how we did. We are in good shape. I might need to drill the holes down just a little bit deeper, but I can live with that. Well, I was going to show you every detail on this one too. Managed to not hit the record button. So basically the first thing is line your board up flush. Take a square or something, straight edge, and make you a mark. Make sure you're on each board all the way down. Then this has quarter, 3/8, 5/16, 7/16, half an inch. Yeah, I'm using the 1/4 inch bit again, so put my bushing there. There is a line on the black piece inside of here that you line up with your mark on your board. And I'll make sure I at least have a good picture of it to pop up. Tighten it down and do your drilling all the way down the board. Here's the last one, and I realized I wasn't recording. I was hoping to show you more of the fidgeting and dialing in I had to do on it. Maybe the second piece so I can get some good capture. All right, here is that second piece. I'm probably not even gonna put this in my clamp this time. Just hit it like this right here. All right. Couple of dowels to see how we did this time. Oh, I need a little bit deeper holes again on this one. Should have practiced more, huh? Let's see. I might do a little bit more. And you can see somewhere I got off. Not exactly sure where, but I did. Not the end of the world. Well, there you have it with these two. Tell me down in the comments which one you think you'd prefer to use. It says in a sponsored video. Hell, I don't even know who made this. All right. So this is our dry fit here. There's a little bit of a lip there. A little bit of a lip coming that way. So I was off center somehow. A little bit on this one too. Not quite as much. But now it's time to glue them up. All right, we're going to make sure we get some glue down in the holes. That's probably too much on that one. Had to clean it up. Down in here too. Drop your dowels in. Got a lot of glue down there. All right. And I'm going to come on this side and just put a little bead there. Use my high-tech spreader this time. See a little bit of that. Okay. And then we'll slide them together. And then get all this excess glue off. And for good measure, we're going to put some clamps on. A little more squeeze out, that's all right. You don't have to clamp it in crazy tight. You don't want to leave track marks or anything. But we do want to make sure the seam is closed up. Somewhere along the line, I got uneven. So I'm going to square these up right quick. Just take the least amount off I can. Let me do one more cut right there. All right. Got my board squared up. I've got a stop block set up at 3.5 inches. And now I'm just going to cut a bunch of these down to size. And gently move it over. If you slam it up against, you run the risk of moving it. All right. This third one, that is way too close for comfort. So we're going to do the old trick of getting something that's about the same, really, really close to the same width, or actually height in this case. That's what I'm cutting. I'm going to get another piece, clamp it down just like that, and we can make this last cut. Now that's really more waste than I would want. I need to measure better for my original length to not have so much of that. Hopefully, after this next step or two, you can really see what I'm going for here. But next, I need to put a taper of 96.7 degrees. I've already got this digital jig laid out here. Just gonna make sure I'm square on the bottom, lined up in the corner. Mark my line. Then shown a couple of different times the tapering jig. That's just a piece of MDF that I run through the table saw to establish exactly where the edge is going to go. I haven't touched my fence since then. I'm just going to tape this piece down to this board and run it through the table saw. And I'm going to end up making a lot of these. At least I hope I do. I don't want to have to measure that angle again. So I just got this other spare piece of MDF, and if I don't lose my battle with the tape, I'm going to tape that down just right there. Hope it holds. So the next piece, I can just pull this one off, pop that one on, and go. we've got to taper down one side. I didn't mention earlier, I should have, that for what I'm envisioning with these things, this lighter part should be the top, or the part that comes out widest after all your tapers. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Set us up right there. Get square on the bottom. Make the mark there. Now this is really going to come together. We got some drilling that we have to do to install this hardware. First hole I'm going to drill is with this 1 9/16 Forstner bit. While I was practicing, had some chatter going on. That's not good. So I'm going to use my awl here. Just give me a little hole to help get started. And line up right here. Get that tip of the bit in the hole. And drill down just a little bit. You're trying to get this flush or close to flush. Next, a 1-inch Forstner bit. And this is going to give you the clearance so you can actually get a bottle open with it. So go a bit deeper, but don't go all the way through. And then, Jesus Christ. One more hole. I'll tell you what that's for in a second. This is going to go all the way through. I just realized I didn't give you the measurements of where those holes are supposed to be. Go to the top of the board, find center, then down 1 1/8 inches. But really, you can put it whatever you want to. Here we are with the hardware in. Got one more step to finish this thing off. To the other side, then I just cut a small piece of double-sided tape. And if I can get it undone, get you some Post-it notes. Put that there, as flat as you can, and wherever you think looks good. Put it on there. There you go. You got yourself a notepad, and then when it's time, open your beer. So WhosTheVos made his note holders. I think he was going to charge $10 a piece for them. Of course, they were a simpler thing, only one kind of wood. I've got the first craft show I'm ever doing. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to start out by asking 20 for these. I think the inserts are about $1 a piece. I can't remember what the pencils and the Post-it notes cost. They went to the lumber yard, and all 3 boards, they were 5 feet long, and of course you saw they were different widths, but it was about $55 worth of lumber. I think I can get 12 more of these made out of that. So if I can get them sold, it'll be a pretty good profit. If you're thinking it's supposed to be a beginner project, but there's all the tools were involved, well, you could get some, S4S pine and stain part of it to get the contrast. You can use a red oak and poplar. Lowe's has that already milled up as an option. Yeah, I will post some kind of update about if I actually sell any of those. And I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.